DC on CW contains adult language and discussions. If you're easily offended, do not continue to listen.
My name is Oliver Queen.
You died. I went to your funeral with you.
The city needs saving.
What happened? You have the right to remain silent, but I'm not a god anymore.
I'm from the future.
Because you can
And in the future,
My name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive.
Supergirl.
people become a team.
Hey, cuz.
It's good to see you.
This looks like a job for the both of us.
None of you heroes are legends. You have failed this city.
What's up, guys? Welcome. You're listening to DC on CW Arrow Edition on Rain Man Digital. If you're listening from your desktop, you can take us mobile by downloading the Rain Man Digital app. That's available on iTunes App Store and the Google Play Store. Simply search Rain Man Digital. You can also find us on demand through iTunes and Stitcher by searching DC on CW. Once you get there, leave us a review. It helps the show out. We really appreciate it. As always, I am your show host, Ryan Denton. And in the studio with me today is Bobby Doherty.
Hello, hello.
And Michael Flores.
Yeah, hello.
And we have a special guest on online. Oh, wow, that's not it.
Metallica!
Yes, Lars Ulrich is online.
Hello.
One of our listeners, Jesse Hansen.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey. So, yeah, we got a full crew tonight for this episode.
A real manly crew.
It's a very manly crew. We're very good looking.
Luckily,
obviously, I'm the best.
here.
Yeah.
Well, just to bring race into it immediately, I'm just happy that there's more than just one Mexican.
So when I
on the
make
show
a Mexican joke now, it pertains to two people.
today. Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So now you can be racist to more than one person.
Down with the brown.
Perfect. Yeah, down with the brown. Yeah. Wait, down with the brown? That sounds kind of...
Yellow, let it mellow?
Yellow.
Oh, we're not talking about flushing toilets?
Yeah. I was really...
Yeah.
Wasn't sure where you were going with that one. All right. So, anyways...
So racist, man.
Shut up. Anyways, today we'll be breaking down and discussing Arrow Season 6, Episode 2, Tribute. Oliver and the team have to figure out how to get the heat off of him being exposed as the Green Arrow. Not gonna lie, after last episode, when they left us with that cliffhanger, I was like, what? And then I was like, oh, we did this before. And then I was like, what? And then, yeah, that's basically how I felt about this episode.
I thought it was bullshit that they're like, well, you got off for being the Hood. This guy,
totally different.
Totally different guy.
Oh, dude.
I mean, because Archer's just running around this city.
Yeah, dude. Well, they typically do. I mean, how many archers have we had on the show? Cupid?
5?
At least
6?
5 or 6 at least. That's a lot, dude. Apparently, they just run around Star City like it's nobody's business.
You just go to the archery club and figure out who's hanging out there.
Right? You're like, oh, man.
Just go down to Cabela's and figure out who's buying the
who's buying the sweet compound bows?
Yeah.
Dude. Wow, how come they've never done that?
Investigate Cabela's on Arrow.
Dude, I would die. Oh, I love Cabela's, by the way.
And the tennis ball manufacturers.
The tennis ball manufacturer, stupid. All right,
you're in collusion.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah,
Bobby's a regular FBI agent.
He's better than the one in this show.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's because Ryan doesn't like black people.
It's not a race thing. Damn it! I like Jesus. Diggle. Come on, guys. Fuck. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and
because he's not in charge.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah. If he was in a position of power, you might not like him.
No. I like it's Diggle. He's in a position.
He could tell Ryan what to do anytime he wants.
Oh, he could tell me anything.
Swing for my bicep, fool.
I could probably do. I'd swing.
Damage now.
You notice Diggle's biceps look huge this season.
Well, it's kind of an illusion. I mean, he has big arms. Don't get me wrong, but they give him like shorter, length sleeves.
This is all since Ryan has become Jim Douche Ryan.
Oh, wow.
Do you have a tape measure in your pocket at all times?
Yeah, well, it's not for my arms, it's my dick. So, anyways, hey. All right, anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and take control of the show here, and we're going to go into news, and probably the one that pained Bobby the most to put into this this show today, because we heard Oliver say Bruce Wayne twice, and the internet and myself and Gotham loses their fucking shit, dude. Yeah, who? Yeah, Bruce Wayne. Who's that? Who's Bruce Wayne?
Some shit show.
This is now. Let's talk. I will agree with that. Let's talk about this. This is the third time that Wayne has been mentioned in the Arrowverse. So the newspaper with Barry in Crisis. Supergirl makes mention of him while talking about her cousin Superman working with a vigilante with lots of gadgets and demons. So, dude, this is, I mean, how much longer are we going to beat around the bush, dude? Like, come on. Come on. I know Bobby's like wants to kill me right now because I always bring this shit up.
It's fine. I hate the false hope. That's my problem.
So hold on. So let me get this right.
Is it officially? It's not. I don't think. I think we can officially say that it's not false hope. He exists. He is there. There is no more beating around the bush. They straight up said Bruce Wayne has he left Gotham City. It's no longer beating around the bush. Now it's only it's only a matter of time and how they execute it. It will happen.
Are you calling that?
Oh, dude, absolutely. Why would you do that? Yes, it's fan service and it creates fantastic headlines.
Well, they've been doing it with Hal Jordan for this whole time, too.
Yeah, but
we actually watched Hal Jordan walk through.
But let's actually put those on a scale of importance in terms of mainstream. Batman, Hal Jordan. Everyone knows who Batman is, whether you're a comic book nerd or not. Hal Jordan, you have to have that knowledge a bit more.
It's Green Lantern.
Most people don't know who Green Lantern is. When you compare it to Batman, nobody knows who that is.
You've got a point, but the fact of the matter is I understand, Bobby. I understand where you're coming from because it's like you're dangling the ultimate, superhero
ultimate big D in your face.
This big black D, right? Just slapping, mushroom stamping you in the forehead, and then you never get to gobble it.
Sometimes you got to face your fears.
Wait,
what?
I'm so confused.
You just got to gobble it.
Oh God!
Come on!
I think this one's tough, and I get where Bobby's coming from because
I just think it irritates me that the Bruce Wayne that I see on TV is a fucking the mini gimp on Gotham right now.
He's basically autistic Andrew. That's who he is.
Oh, poor Andrew.
He is. He comes off as very autistic.
I like Andrew better than I like Bruce Wayne on Gotham.
That's actually a good point. But no, I don't know, man. I think it's a tough situation because you've got this character that everyone wants to see, and they want to see Batman. God. They want to see like a legit version of Batman, and especially in the Arrowverse, I think he would fit, especially with Arrow. So it's tough to keep doing it and keep doing it. It's like, look, man, we're in season 6 of Arrow. Is this going to happen or not? And that's the thing.
This is how it's going to this is how it's all going to play out. Okay. The CW has a franchise. It's an entire universe of shows.
Right.
Which means Arrow can the Arrow show can get canceled or end the show, whatever. But guess what? The CW Arrowverse continues. Gotham is a standalone show that has no universe to support it. So once that show ends in 3 or 4 years, guess what? They're not going to have Batman. They don't have dibs on Batman. The CW Arrowverse can utilize that Easter egg or name drop at any time they want.
You think Gotham was scared?
Yes, because the CW has the power to do something with it. The Gotham is stuck with autistic 14-year-old Bruce Wayne. So who do you want? The real Dark Knight?
I'm actually Bruce Wayne? Very open, and I think autism is something that needs to be on TV. So
it is. It's called The Good Doctor, starring Psycho Kid on ABC.
Is that the Doogie Howser one?
Yeah.
Regardless, dude, I agree, Mike. I think they will do it, but the fact of the matter is for them to keep kind of slapping us in the face with the big black D is starting to get old, man.
I think they're owning it. Honestly, I think this is the producers of the Arrowverse whipping their peen out and pissing all over the place, saying, "Guess what? We're going to be here for another 5 or 6 years minimum.
Yeah,
and you're going to be here maybe for 2.
Right,
and we will be doing Batman." Whereas you, by contract, can never show this kid wearing the actual Batman costume.
Just the GIMP costume.
I mean, let's not be... I mean, I like the GIMPs.
Which one of you came up with the theory that what if Stephen Amell just said fuck you and said it?
That was Mike.
Okay.
Mike came up with the F you, I'm just going to use, like, ad-lib this line.
Wait, what did I say?
Wow.
What if Amell just ad-libbed the line that
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't supposed to be part of it, and that's why he was so smirky.
Yeah, I mean, it came
No
off.
way,
Didn't
dude.
it come off as someone like almost like improv? It did a little bit.
It did. Well, that, and I think he looked at the camera at one point. You
Yeah.
don't see that happen. It'd just be like the little wink. Like,
Dude, if he would have looked and winked at the camera, I would have peed myself, dude. That would have been hilarious.
Even if it wasn't, let's say it was planned, it was definitely meant to be meta. It was breaking the fourth wall, and I would even go as far as saying that they were calling him out. I think they were calling Gotham out. They were firing shots. I don't mind a little controversy.
As for the TV show Gotham?
Yeah.
Yeah, would he be the same age in that TV show, or
No.
would he be older in the Arrowverse?
He'd be older in Arrow. He would
Yeah.
be Batman because,
Well,
I mean, the fact of the matter
we
is,
don't even know what year Gotham is in because it looked like it was old school at one time, and then all of a sudden they had flip phones.
Yeah.
So,
well, not to mention that, but if you look at Gotham's villains compared to Bruce Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them don't match up at all.
Age-wise,
yeah. It just doesn't make any fucking
the show
sense.
is a circus.
It's all over the fucking
the
place.
Riddler's like 104.
Yeah, he's an old decrepit. That's why he has the cane. Not because he uses it to spin and talk about riddles. It's to hold his ass up.
There is so much controversy surrounding that show. The only people really into that show are the mainstream people that watch Fox. True comic book people, I found out through scouring the internet, aren't really into the show. They're really upset and say they always say it's an abomination to what Batman's supposed to be.
I tried to watch the first season. I got through it, and then after that, I wanted to blow my brains out.
Yeah, it's just not interesting.
It
not
really
interesting.
isn't. Dude, look, you're going to do a show about Gotham City, and you're never going to have Batman show up. I'm sorry, dude. It's just not going to work.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I mean, the original idea was far better. Bob and I talked about this just yesterday. The original idea was going to be a true show about Gotham and Gordon, and it was going to show you how Gotham got to be
a shithole.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the original focus, but fans bitched, moaned, and complained. They wanted to see Batman, so they gave us a child Bruce Wayne, and now fans don't even like that because it's a terrible concept.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. So with that, let's move on to our next. We could rant about that all day long. Let's go ahead and move into our next article. Arrow, did Felicity just set up a Crisis on Earth X villain?
Oh yeah.
Obviously, we talked about Bruce Wayne, blah blah blah, name drop. But here's another name drop that happened in the episode we're getting ready to talk about. While trying to figure out who leaked the photo of Oliver Queen as Green Arrow, Felicity Smoke and Curtis Holt spent some time chatting about their non-Team Arrow work situation, and Curtis reveals that he's been doing some freelance coding work to pay the bills. Felicity ends up quizzing Curtis with the programming languages he uses, and he asks him if Python is one of them. Curtis responds not with confirmation that he is indeed using the coding language, but instead asks the supervillain. Interesting, again, that Curtis would ask about the villain we haven't yet seen in the Arrowverse. So this is interesting. It
was fun.
I actually like those scenes a lot. We'll talk about that when we talk about the episode, but I don't know much about Python. But again, throwing out the name drops is getting pretty frequent now.
Yeah. And I always can get on board that because, I mean, the good thing about doing a show that takes place, or the source material, I should say, is a comic book. I mean, take advantage of the wealth of lore and mythology that's already built up in that world.
Well, I mean, so a little bit about, it's actually the Black Python.
Yeah, it is.
That's what Diggle calls us. That's what they were talking about.
Tubuku.
Tubuku. He debuted in 2011's Freedom Fighter #3. The character doesn't have much comic book history, but he's not on the side of the Freedom Fighters with the Crisis on Earth X crossover, pitting the heroes against their evil Nazi-inspired doppelgangers and the Ray. A member of the Freedom Fighters making an appearance, it's possible that the Black Python could also pop up to help the bad guys. So again, this is dude, they were probably writing this like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Black Python's popping up.
Does it spit?
Oh, pythons don't spit though. Oh. Anyways, shut up.
He's the enemy of Sandman.
Who is
the actual Python guy?
Really?
Yeah, it's not. Did they say Black Python?
Yeah,
because there is a Python.
Man,
Jacob Bernstein.
Yeah, the other Python in DC Comics.
Enemy of Sandman. which Sandman has been teased on Legends.
Well, some a bitch. Dude, they're teasing all kinds of shit. Man, they're teasing us with pythons and black pythons and popping up. And
Was it that just Cobra's going to come during
Cobra!
during the crossover?
Dude, it's going to be a G.I. Joe crossover.
All kinds of just different snake
With
villains.
kung fu grips and shit. That would be amazing. I would laugh. I don't know, man. This is cool. I like you said, Mike, using the whole, they've got such a plethora of lore and characters and stuff that they can delve into that people don't know about that they can use. And I think it's smart. We always talk about that they're very good in the Arrowverse of using characters that might be a C or D or even an E level villain and bringing them in and making them relevant. And I think that's cool. And I like how they do it. You know, the name drop, they might show up, they might not. Who knows?
And it really doesn't matter. It just makes the world feel bigger and legit.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, that, and we all know that these shows are about the internet. And it gets people to write articles like this and people like us to discuss them.
Yep,
so
exactly.
Why not use them when they can?
So basically our discussion is clickbait.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're a clickbait network anyways, let's be completely honest. So anyways, guys, with that, we're going to go ahead and take
I don't know what that means.
Don't worry about it.
I think Bob got really offended right now.
I raised so much shit.
With that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about Arrow Season 6, Episode 2 trivia. But first, a quick break.
Aw, people say he's just a pretty face.
DC on CW. We'll be right back.
This is Star Wars from the Butter Tank exclusive.
All I'm saying is that someday we may be ready for a rated R Star Wars. But right now, putting the Star Wars name on things where people are already confused with Rogue One, and now you're throwing a rated R rating, it's too much confusion. It's not about Disneyfying. It's about making sure the mainstream audience and general audiences understand what's going on. Can you imagine that, dude? You go to see Star Wars and it has a rated R rating on it. You're like, what?
Yeah.
What is this?
And on top of that, it's kind of like, for those people, those fans that want a rated R movie, you guys do realize that Star Wars was made for a younger audience.
Yeah, you know what? If you want something more adult, just go look up keywords on Google here. Star Wars parody porn. There you go. That's mature content right there for you. There's lots of shooting in people's faces and all kinds of things.
For more details and get ready for an excitingly good time. Also, if you've missed our last show, you can also find us on your Stitcher app. Search Back to Tank. That is to your favorites. Thank you, and we will see you very soon.
He has to come back in the clip.
I think the Lucifer of that world's gonna kill him.
You think?
Boom.
See, I no. You need to have original Lucifer be the one that
I think original Lucifer and alternate universe Lucifer are going to be shipped really soon on Twitter.
I think they're going to fuse and become Ultimate Lucifer.
Ultimate Lucifer on Tumblr is going to be a ship.
I'm going to actually make that. Hold on, I'm going to get that Twitter. I'm gonna
Can
get
we
that Twitter
copyright that?
I'm going to get that Twitter handle right now. Hold on.
Ship Lucifer with Lucifer. Alternate reality Lucifer with Earth 1 Lucifer. Can we call this Earth 1?
No, don't get started with that.
Don't.
Let's call this. What are we going to call this then? Supernatural 1?
Ultimate
1?
Ultimate 1.
Espion 1? Espion 1 World 1.
That is a terrible name.
What is this, Mario Brothers? I would love to see that on Tumblr. Get it started, guys.
I would love
Send me your Lucifer fan fiction.
I want to see Lucifer enter Lucifer.
Very meta.
It'll be very Lucy.
Oh. That's horrible. That's horrible.
Wait, which one would be the girl and which one would be the boy?
But does it matter? Why do you got a label?
I'm not labeling.
Why can't it just be two?
I'm just curious which one would be the giver and which one would be the taker.
Don't miss Supernatural at Crossroads every week on Rain Man Digital. Go to supernaturalthecrossroads.com for more information. Have you missed an episode of DC on CW? Catch up on all of our discussions from Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow. Just search DC on CW on iTunes and Stitcher. You can also find it on the Rain Man Digital app. Just search Rain Man Digital from the iTunes App Store or Google Play.
When Ryan Digit's truth does not hurt, you're listening to him on DC on CW.
All right, guys, we are back. This segment here, we're going to talk about Arrow Season 6, Episode 2, Tribute. This one was directed by Laura Belsey. Is that right? Did I get that one right? No confirmation? All right. Written by Adam Schwartz and teleplay by Mark Guggenheim and Beth Schwartz. Adam and Beth, the Schwartz team. Man,
Did you just make them a law firm?
Yeah.
For your injury needs.
Isn't the Schwartz the same thing in Spaceballs? No? Okay.
What?
Never mind. Anyway, so...
Your Schwartz is bigger than mine.
Thank you. There it is.
Is that what you needed?
Yeah, I needed to.
Bobby loves to just leave you hanging, man.
Dude, he does. Like, and then he comes.
That's why we need to get video, just because you can just watch me just stare at Ryan and watch him fucking burn.
He trolls you during a show.
It's pretty fucked up, dude. You know, he's supposed to be my backup homie, and he doesn't do it. So
no, he's your biggest troll.
Yeah,
not a very good wingman.
Yeah, he's a pretty shitty wingman, actually.
Oh, we don't even want to get into that. That'll be different stories. I'm a pretty damn good wingman.
You're a decent wingman. What the hell was that?
Message.
Anyways, yeah, this is a real good show. Let's start off with the dig. Mike shows up and everything, all hell breaks loose. The Diggle dilemma. So Diggle last season wasn't really exactly the storyline. We were looking for him, and then this season we're like, guess what? Diggle's gonna be emotional and shit. And I'm like, oh man.
Is that what you're getting out of it?
I see this being, they're trying. Last season we didn't really get much for him. It was kind of like, okay, but this one it's very Diggle centric. At least this episode was. I'm okay with that, but it is going to be pretty. It seems fairly emotional. Am I reading it wrong?
I don't know. I just
I got emotion from it. Yeah, for sure.
What kind of emotion?
I mean, you're dealing with a guy who has
big arms,
an issue that's what's degenerative.
Yeah.
Very, and it's and he's not getting better. He's getting worse.
Yeah, but
I mean, how do you fix a problem like that?
I don't know. They put a nano thing in Felicity and she can walk.
As soon as I watched that, I was like, well, this is an easy fix, right, Palmer?
Okay. I didn't want to bring that shit up because it was just like it was way too many holes.
I wasn't going to bring it up either. I was going to try to have a discussion.
I wasn't. I was the first thing I thought of, dude. Come on, let's be completely honest.
Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen future Oliver get a fucking fake arm.
Yeah,
we've seen John Barrowman get a fake arm.
Yeah,
you can't give.
We've seen someone. Yeah, we've seen someone who can't walk.
Felicity with a fake personality for like the last 3 years.
Oh. And annoying.
Maybe they'll think he's like a Jax from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, give him
make him cyborg.
Just start ripping arms off and beating people with them. I don't know, man.
No, I feel you with the emotional side. Yes, it's an easy fix per se if you really want to think about it, and maybe hopefully they'll figure out a reason why that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
To me, I got the feeling that they're trying to spell doom and gloom for Diggle, but also the connection and what it means for Oliver as well. Is he?
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing, dude. Like Oliver spent basically the entire episode trying to convince the FBI that, hey, I'm not the Green Arrow. I was acquitted of being the Hood. Which I don't know how they don't think that the Hood is the same thing as the Green Arrow, but whatever. The fact of the matter is he spent the whole time, and we see him kind of like, going the route of passing it over to Diggle because he's got his son and all these things, but as an audience, we know what's going on with Diggle. So it's I don't know. It's so interesting to me to go that whole route and then to have them throw it on Diggle when we know he's struggling.
Yeah. No, I agree, especially because we like Diggle.
Yes, I love Diggle.
Yeah. So it definitely, whenever you put Diggle's prospective future in peril,
right,
it does pull. Definitely, for real, at your heartstrings. However, but you start thinking about all of the potential, like, ethical
Right.
and morality issues that, okay, so Oliver doesn't want to do this anymore because I have a kid, so now I can't do this. But hey, Diggle, you have a kid, but never mind, you're going to do it.
like, oh, you have a daughter, but don't fucking worry about it.
Yeah,
you know, like,
the target can be on your back. Yeah, please do this for me.
I'm
Be
hard-
a real pal.
I'm already a black man. I don't need all this heat on me for being Green Arrow too.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, guys, let's really talk about this for a second. I could see a show where Diggle leads the team. Essentially, I could see that happen. But let's be completely honest. Your show and all your shows, all your DC on CW shows started because of Stephen Amell. He is one of your big ticket items, you know, and he's not going anywhere. Okay. Now, obviously, I think this is personally a short-term thing that we're going to see, you know, him feeling guilty with William and all that shit, which we're going to get into that later. Because I have a rant about that, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
So you don't think they're setting up the story to end?
No, absolutely not. They're not going to end Arrow. I don't think it'll be 3 or 4 seasons from now, maybe, but I don't see them doing that. They've got, I could see, like I said, I could see Diggle leading a team, or maybe this sets him up for Diggle leaves and goes to Legends. I don't know. The fact of the matter is I could see it happening, but I don't see it being as Green Arrow. You don't have Oliver leave and have somebody else do it.
Yeah, and I don't see him leaving. I was wondering if they were going to do like the split role thing, to where Oliver is, you know, focusing on the White Knight part of.
Well, I could see them doing it for a couple episodes where, like, you know, Diggle takes over and he shows up while Oliver's there, so it looks like, oh, guess what? I'm not the Green Arrow. Like, I could see that happening. I could see them going that route. The fact of the matter is we've seen this before.
Yeah, the same way Roy got caught.
Exactly, same way Roy got caught, and it's like, I personally, like, dude, I don't want that. Now, obviously, I don't want him to pull a full Tony Stark and be like, I am the Green Arrow. Like, I don't want to see that, because the whole thing about Green Arrow's, you know, is his secret identity. I mean, that's a superhero's 101, right? So I definitely don't want to see that, but I also don't think, Mike, like you asked, I don't think that they're going to go that route. It may be 1 or 2 episodes. I don't see it being like, oh, I'm passing the torch over and now it's going to be Diggle, you know?
Yeah.
Mike, you brought up like the kind of the whole ethical thing about it, and, you know, putting him in charge of a team when Canary already knows that he's compromised.
Yeah.
Like, what point should, like, we've always discussed, why don't they talk to each other on this?
Immediately, I know where you're going with this. Immediately after Oliver offers him to be the Green Arrow, he should be like, look, man, I've got issues.
Okay, but also Diggle has, since day one, this is the reason why we love Diggle. Diggle is one of the most loyal individuals we've ever met on television, that we've ever been introduced. He's so loyal, he has Oliver's back. Even if it means for him to be an asshole to Oliver, he has his back. And I got the impression that he feels guilty, that Oliver wants to be a father, wants to be a real person. And we've seen that there's a little bit of hero worship when Diggle looks at Oliver. Yeah, it's kind of, you think maybe not hero worship because he's a big dude. He's very independent, but there's a reason why these individuals gravitate to Oliver. It's because there's a little bit of awe behind it. You don't follow a person and put your life in the line day in, day out unless you respect and they are awe-inspiring to you. So
I agree with you, Mike.
Yeah.
I do, but
how do you tell the guy no?
You tell him no because you're compromised. And if you respect the man and you have this love and admiration for, you know, this guy who you consider one of your best friends, you know, family.
Homie bro love.
You tell him, hey, man.
Facebook backup homie?
Yeah, Facebook backup homie, typically.
Oh, totally. I can see Diggle being a Facebook backup homie.
Oh, for sure,
Oliver.
dude. And he just plays the black card every single time, dude. Like, he's not racist. He has a black friend.
Hey, yeah, he does.
Hey, don't
see?
Hey, don't troll Oliver on Facebook. I'm black.
Yeah, you can't say nothing to me.
By the way,
I'll point with that too. Yeah.
But okay, what I mean by that is, I mean that, you know, if I've got something going on, and they want to pass responsibility to me, I'm like, hey, look, I want this responsibility, but I'm going through some shit right now. And this is where he needs to tell Oliver, hey, I'm not 100%. I want this, and I want to help you out any way that I can, but I need to get through this first.
In a perfect world, that would be the go-to. But when you look at Oliver's face and how sincere he was, I mean, that's why I felt like that scene. I think that was one of the best scenes since the season started last week, was the scene between the two of them. And those scenes between Diggle and Oliver are always the highlight of every episode.
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah.
And I totally get you, and I would totally do the exact same thing. But would you feel like the sense of responsibility that Diggle has for Oliver after all these years and what he's done for the city? I think he wants to give him that, even though he shouldn't. And the responsible thing to do would be to say, hey, I'm just not up to speed right now. But at the same time, how do you tell your best friend who is just smiling and so happy that he has this new idea?
Because he doesn't have that burden on his shoulders anymore.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, imagine if your friend Bob were to do something like that. You guys are very good friends. What if, Bob finally got his shit together in his life? I'm not saying you don't have your shit together. Let me reverse these. Let me reverse these.
Wait. Why do I not have my shit together?
Let me reverse these.
Wow.
No, okay, let me put it back. So let's say Bob's been going through some issues, right? And Bob has finally reached the point where he finally made the decision he should have made from long ago. And you're like, you don't want to get in the way of that decision. And you may not be the person for whatever he's offering you, but are you really at that moment going to say, guess what, dude? Sorry,
honestly,
hate to burst your bubble.
No, but the thing is, like, I respect Bob enough to say, hey, man, I'm going through some shit too.
I like to lie to my friends, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If I'm as close as, like Bob and I are, I can tell him anything. Like, hey, man, I've got some problems.
Yeah.
And I just feel
Fair
also too, to piggyback off this is that you're also setting yourself up for Dinah to question you.
Yes, and that you brought up that word responsibility, where if somebody knows, isn't it for her to tell? And she's already kind of got on Diggle about, well, Renee got hurt because you weren't able to pluck and pull the trigger. She basically was getting choked out this episode.
She could have died.
So you want her to snitch?
I want her. Well, I'm not going to tell you what I want her to do.
We've seen Diggle backhand bitches.
But fuck, Jim. No, hey, Bobby's right though.
Another point too with that. Yeah, go ahead.
No, Jesse, go ahead.
Okay, another point with that too is because Diggle has had his time with his kid, during this season prior, but now that the Arrow has time with his kid now, he wants to kind of give him that chance to kind of reconnect with him and develop a better relationship with him too, because he's never really had a chance to, kind of hang out with him, do things with him, or even get to know him. So I think that's kind of one of the things that Diggle's letting him have too, that time with his son.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Jesse. Who the fuck wants to hang out with William? He's a little shithead.
Oh God, he's a kid.
He's a
That's how
shithead.
they are at that age.
How is he a shithead?
He's a little shit. We'll talk about it.
How's he a shithead? He lost his mother.
We're getting there.
Hey,
No, go.
Want me to go?
Bobby,
Look, dude.
Bobby, a kid lost his mother.
I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm so sick. I'm going to rant. I'm so sick and tired of this. In 2 episodes in, I'm ready for it to be over. Like, I want Adrian Chase to come back and shoot him in the face. Like, that's how bad I don't like William, dude. It's a burden on the
You're not
show.
supposed to feel this way, you know that?
It's Olicity 2.0.
Not even
he's
close.
He's as shitty as
At least we can look at Felicity.
Yeah, at least Felicity's hot. This kid, it's a kid.
You don't find William hot, Ryan?
No, not at all. I think
disagree
William is
with you. But not that he's hot. I totally
William. Jesus
I
Christ,
totally disagree with you.
dude. It's a waste of it's a waste of time, and he's annoying.
I think it's because you don't have kids, dude.
No,
I don't.
Your dad's the fucking Green Arrow.
Dude,
Are you kidding me, dude?
Okay, so tell an 8-year-old to say, "Hey, you're not important because your dad's awesome."
Dude, your dad is a fucking superhero, dude. Are you kidding me?
He doesn't have a backpack.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. There's no Green Arrow backpacks. Sorry. Like, dude, come on. He's annoying. Dude, you're keeping the main character from being the main character. Yeah, turn on the hate train because I hate William. William is literally a waste of time. It needs to go away. So, like, whatever the main villain is, can he just snatch him and kill him? And just have it over because I'm so sick of it. Oh, here's Oliver trying to do his best. Oh, just kidding. Not good enough for you, William. Fuck you.
Dude, he's a kid.
I don't care, dude. Your dad's a motherfucking superhero.
If he was a 12-year-old or a
Cut him some
13-year-old,
fucking slack,
I
dude.
might understand that if he was acting like that. But
Dude,
he's like what,
10.
8?
He's like 10, dude.
Oh, dude, he just
He's
said 8th
not
graders
eight.
beat
He's like
him
10
up.
or 12.
Yeah, he's like,
8th
like
graders beat
12.
him up. 8th graders are 12. So that
Yeah.
means he's probably in 6th grade. He's 10 or
6th
11
grade is
years
12. You're 12 in 6th grade.
when you fail twice like Ryan, yes.
You're not 12. You're in 6th grade. Right?
I'm pretty sure you're 12 in 6th grade. You're 11
I
or
have
12.
no clue. It just worked with the joke.
Stupid. The fact of the matter is, dude, look at it this way, okay?
I like how you pick on those things.
Such a dick.
The dudes that just weren't ranting for 5 minutes about how the kid, an 8-year-old's a motherfucker. Just like, shut up, Mike. You're a kid.
So wait a second. It's okay to hate the Bruce Wayne on Gotham, but for me to fucking hate on an 8-year-old on this show, it's worse.
Now, if they were to try to make this kid the next Green Arrow replacement, then yes, I would have an issue with him as well.
He might be. You don't know.
If Oliver tried to pass the mantle to him, then I would have an issue with the kid.
Dude, okay. Obviously,
maybe you have to have a kid to appreciate it. I don't, Bob, are you annoying?
You don't like him either, do you?
No, he's annoying.
Thank you.
But what did he do? Explain to me what he did that's truly annoying. Besides, want his dad's attention after his mother died.
Oh,
does he really want his dad's attention?
No, he seems to be playing it off.
Of course, he wants his dad's attention.
But again, so you go back to the first episode. Who's the bad man?
You are, Daddy.
Okay, that was not his error. That was the stupid writers.
Oh, so now we're gonna cut him slack.
No,
but I mean that would be everybody. I mean, but that's who is gonna put over this kid or not. Now, again, we'll go back to in the perfect world. If I was writing this show, like Ryan said that your dad's a superhero. I'd be playing off that shit all the time. Barry, come visit my kid real quick. You want to go see the lair? You want to go do this? Look at all the cool shit your dad does.
Yeah.
Not just fucking
cool.
moping, hoping that Juanita doesn't open up the barn door while you're whacking off.
So I think it's the whole murder thing with
don't
with the Green Arrow.
What's that? What'd you say?
I think it's the whole murder thing with the Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Is he's kind of seen in a bad light right now.
Yeah, I mean,
what are you talking about? The Green Arrow didn't murder anybody. That was the Hood. Different. Remember, that's what they're playing it off on the show, right?
FBI says it's different.
Yeah, it's different, man.
That's 2 people on the most wanted.
Apparently, Mexicans like their kids. You white people shouldn't have kids anymore.
Wow, he had to take it to a racial area.
Yeah, come on, what are you talking? Of course,
dude. Look, the kid's annoying. I'm sorry.
You should see my lawn; it's impeccable.
That doesn't surprise me. The fact of the matter is, dude, the kid's annoying. I'm sorry that you don't think he is, but he's annoying. It's no different. It's absolutely no different than the way Felicity was and the way and you're right. It is writing.
It's totally different. Felicity's an adult.
She's annoying.
An adult and shouldn't be acting like she's 9 years old and never experienced a relationship before.
So maybe I just think 9-year-olds are fucking annoying. Then
maybe that's what it is.
Maybe that's what it is.
So I got like 4 more years to bring Harley around Ryan. Is that why you get on Mike's kid all the time?
Yeah, he comes to my house, plays video games before the show, and he's fighting with my 9-year-old.
Your 9-year-old turns the PlayStation off when I'm beating him.
He's 9.
He's privileged. God, this guy's beating me. Time to turn it off.
You just missing Mr. Hanky?
I think I did. I think it was Mr. Hanky.
I think the point is that Ryan just hates kids.
I don't hate kids. That's the thing. I just the thing. Okay, let me see if I can backtrack here a little bit and just kind of get my point across is that
I hate William.
I do agree. I do agree that it's more writing than it is actual the character, but I think that you've got a dad who is literally a superhero. And I think, yes, Oliver should maybe be playing that up a little bit more, and that's on Oliver as a character, but it's I don't want to, he's not old enough to be like, oh, I don't want you around me, or, like the 14, 15-year-old kid who's like, I don't want you around.
That's not true. So my kid right now is going through that with his mother. He's 9 and doesn't want to see his mom.
Yeah, but his mom's not cool. You're cool. That makes sense.
Yeah, but Mike isn't taking him. Mike isn't taking his kid in a car and his kid having some kind of serious conversation with him, and Mike going, "Well, somebody paged me. Gotta go. Pull over right here."
You don't know that. He may have done that. You don't know.
Hey, can you walk from here? You know the way home?
That'd be fun if it wasn't even what we thought it was. It was just a booty call. He's I gotta go, son.
See you later.
See you later.
Oh, weird. I'm gonna go bang some chicks out.
I do get. I think your I think your argument's flawed, but I get your point. Like I do. I do get your point. Like
thanks for the backhand compliment there.
No, I do get your point. He isn't for everybody. I was getting annoyed last week. I think he won me over a bit more this week. Now that he was kind of acting like his age.
And I agree with you. Yes,
he had a couple lines.
What was that, Jesse?
He had a couple more lines.
Right. Yeah.
Just pointing and Saying the bad man.
I think exactly.
Where did the bad man touch you?
Right
William?
on his wee wee.
I wish Lauren didn't say that because that did ruin it for me when she said that.
The fact of the matter is I hope that this isn't a recurring theme the whole season, and that's what I don't want. I don't want to focus on, William hating Oliver and Oliver trying to do his best for William, and I just don't want to see that. I guess that's my whole thing. So I don't know. And the funny thing is let's and to kind of wrap this up, the best advice he ends up getting about William is from Wild Dog. Like sometimes white lies are good. So I don't know, man.
White lies are awesome.
Yeah, white lies are awesome, right? Like,
well, that's being a parent,
right? Yeah,
you sometimes you have to do that just to protect them from reality.
Reality sucks, dude. Reality really does suck, and it scares the shit out of people. So,
like with Santa Claus, Easter bunnies, everything else,
man,
why not?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, God.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said Jesus Christ.
I thought you did something over there.
I'm just saying all the white lies.
Isn't it Jesus for you?
Jesus Cristo.
Yeah, Jesus Cristo. Jesse, is that what they call him?
He has to go to.
I have to say a couple of Hail Marys after this, actually. So.
Say Guadalupe.
Guadalupe.
That's only big out here.
Guacamole and quesadillas.
Because the Guadalupe mission.
We only know the regional racism.
Yeah.
Regional. All right. Anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump into a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some cinematography stuff, and we'll talk about some of the other people in the group or Team Arrow.
Well, hold on a second. I don't have a break ready.
Oh, you don't have a break ready? Wow. Way to read the notes.
Oh, fine. Just go to break then.
No. We can talk about whatever. We can talk about stuff.
That's the only song I have.
Okay. Well, anyways, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I'm not afraid to lie of the poor man's struggle of the killer's knife. I'm not afraid to lie of an insane rage of the minimum wage. I'm not afraid to lie. I'm not afraid of lying. I'm not afraid of lying. When I see an old lady with a shopping bag and I wonder, is life a drag?
Adam and Eve wants to give you more with free gifts. Go to adamandeve.com and you'll find over 18,000 adult entertainment products. That is a shit ton, including toys, lingerie, and a seemingly endless selection of adult DVDs. And there's more. We're giving you 10 free gifts. A gift for her, a gift for you, a gift for a special gift you just want to give a partner. Who knows? Who knows what you want to use them for? Plus 6 full-length adult DVDs and free shipping. So head over to adamandeve.com and enter offer code RAINMAN at checkout. That's RAINMAN at checkout. Head on over.
Crazy shit with gold is in the ground to be old.
All right, guys, we are back. Now, last week I wasn't here, so I know that you guys covered a story about the change in the cinematography, and this was actually something I wanted to talk about because this week we definitely saw a change in the way like the action scenes were shot. There was some cool stuff. Even Bobby, you had sent me a text about certain stuff.
Yeah,
it
was a lot different. It didn't feel old.
Right, it looked new,
yes.
Right, and I think that was.
It wasn't something we've really seen before, as far as the way the cameras were rolling through everything.
There was a lot of shots, like even during the fight scenes, more rotation. It seemed like they were the camera. And Mike, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like the camera was kind of rotating around the fight scene as it was happening, which I didn't think we got a lot of last season at all, which was new. The car chase scene. There was a lot of more, I guess, in car.
Yeah.
Which I think typically we see more like, the camera being outside the vehicle. So I thought that was pretty neat. One of the things I kind of struggle with and gun nerd guy here, obviously I'm nitpicking, but how many bullets can hit a car without someone getting shot in the face? Was that van had bulletproof glass or?
I was buying it up to the point when they had the machine gun mounted on the deck.
Dude, okay, so that was a Browning machine gun. Dude, that thing would turn that truck into Swiss cheese. I was like, small arms fire, like rifles. Okay, I can buy that. Like you said, you were buying it. But the mounted Browning machine gun, I was like, Like, dude, that thing would have to be so armored to stop that.
So for a gun nerd like you, is it weird when you see things like this, that inaccuracy when it comes to how things would work? We talk about this a lot. Like we talk about, and it is very nitpicky. I have to remember that this is a show on the CW. Like, I'm sure they don't have a gun nerd or like a technical advisor on set. But it also just looks cool to have a fucking mounted gun.
Right, absolutely. And to me, that's a cool gun. Like I've shot one. It's pretty cool. Like, but to have it on there and then, yes, sometimes it does take away from the realism. Like you said, the small arms fire, the AKs and stuff, that totally made sense. Like you can armor a van like that very easily to stop those rounds. But yeah, you're right. I think it's just a cool factor to have a mounted, machine gun there. But all in all, it didn't take it away from it. I think the biggest part was the glass. That would have to be some thick ass glass to stop.
Not some random Dodge 12 passenger van.
Right, exactly. Some of the stuff that we saw too in the fight scenes was the steady cam shots, and from the kitchen fight scene, kind of like how it followed the fight.
Yeah.
Which is typically, we haven't done that. And I like that. Personally, I like that linear kind of, following the fight scene from in front, and you kind of see the whole scene evolve.
That's a lot of moving parts that have to hit.
It's a lot. I mean, and again, a continuous shot. I don't know how long they continually shot that, that scene, but
they just needed the chicken to run through.
God,
because everything about that reminded me of like a video game fight scene, and I think I was joking around with you about how slamming the guy into the stove and the flame jumps up. I'm like, I just remembered like playing video games and trying to do that to people.
You're like, oh, I can flame the guy off the freaking stove.
Yeah,
Sweet,
you're like, I'm just gonna stand here till the guy runs over, and so I can knock him into the stove to watch him burn.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that's another thing where it's like, hey, this is a cool visual shot. And that,
but you have to put in the flames.
Well, right. Well, I don't think those flames were fake, dude. He was on fire.
No, he was on fire.
Yeah. Like, and it was his head, dude. Like his head was on fire. I was like, damn. Well, it's funny because we've been talking about this a lot on Supernatural, actually.
Oh, Blue Flame?
Well, not only Blue Flame, but just like flames in general.
Talking about Thomas?
Yeah, well, that's a different kind of flame.
Oh.
But no, Mike we've been talking about it. It's the gel that they use to do these burns. Dude, that burn was like his shoulders and his head. So I was actually watching it to see where they cut after he falls. Like, where do they cut? It's like,
yeah, if you're doing a steady cam, like continuous shot, like how long do I have to burn before I'm out of frame so you can put me out?
Right. And it's funny because I never would have looked at that. And we've been actually talking about that quite a bit lately. And so, what did you guys think? I mean, Jesse, what did you think of the fight scenes? Did you think they felt different or?
I think they felt a little bit, the shots were really good. That fire scene was kind of crazy. I thought that fire was going to get a little bit more out of control because it was getting big on that guy too. Like it was going to wonder if it was going to have a big fire in there, but it kind of changed the scene a little bit. But I think it was really good. I did think the bullets were going to go totally through that van.
Right. Okay. So like
as well, I don't know what the heck they have on there, but it must be a Kia or something because that's crazy glass.
Yeah. Yes. It's like, it's the upgraded glass. They paid for the upgrade, on that. No, I just, that was one of the things. And I agree, dude.
It's a perk for, walking away with the car that day.
Oh, right. So like, hey guys, so if you buy the car today, not only am I going to give you a great price, but I'm also going to throw in ballistic glass. Now this will stop a .308 round.
Watch.
Yeah. Boom. We are blowing out fucking prices here today
and my
Kia.
Drums.
Yeah. We are blowing out prices. And if you sign up now,
give you this hamster.
I will give you, a pass to ride in a van with Oliver Queen. What do you think? Right? No?
It's the dealer test driving it through the press conference.
Oh God. Anyways, no, I thought this week the visual effects, some of the stunts, everything was really well done. Dude, even Oliver bounced that dude's head off the fucking kitchen and dragged him across the fucking. That was badass. That shot. So again, I liked.
They were super pissed too.
He looked right. He front kicks that guy, dude. Like right after he drags that dude's head across the counter, he then turns and like this is Sparta's that dude right in the chest, dude.
Mike also brought up something that we really haven't seen was that they were doing blood.
Squid packs.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is you brought that up and I subconsciously I noticed it, but I just kind of didn't think about it too much. But yeah, we haven't seen that. I don't know what would make them change to put that in.
A lot of TV shows nowadays have gravitated to not using any practical effects in terms of or in relation to anything that may put the actor in harm's way. And the fact that in this episode alone, I'm fairly certain I would love to talk to the visual effects guy and the stunt coordinator for this episode, but based on just what we saw and how it looked, number one, the fire scene looked like it was a real body burn. Number one, that didn't look like CGI.
That was not CGI.
That's something we've always complained lately about is how fire has just gradually looked worse since the early 2000s, late 2000s, when fire looked okay. For some reason, CGI artists have decided to say, yeah, fire looks okay like that, completely fake and shitty.
Yeah.
Let's go with it.
This is my fire, sir.
Yeah.
You're not going to take my creativity away when I want to burn people.
But that's that same, you didn't hear that show because the Patreon Supernatural show, we were talking about fire, Bob, but that's exactly what we said. Like what happened to fire looking real? Suddenly it looks fake. And that's why that fire scene stuck out so much for me, because that looked like a real body burn.
Absolutely.
And not only that squib explosion when Anatoly blew up the other Russian dude or shot the other Russian dude from the back. I mean, that was a blood spray. And in the past, Arrow either A, doesn't show blood at all.
They pan away.
Or B, it's obvious CGI blood explosions from their chest. It doesn't look layered correctly. It's not blended. You can tell that it's not a part of the scene. That was so expertly done, and look at the layers of the shot. When you go back and watch it, you could see and pinpoint how it is in fact a real squib,
right?
Because even the jacket flaps open at the right time, which a lot of times when you do CGI blood effects, all those other things don't work at the same time. You don't have a CGI artist going in on a TV show's budget and making the jacket fold up
the
and
lapel
down.
and
The fact that happened, it's a testament to what they're trying to do this year. Number one, Arrow always does great with their stunt work. They very rarely have a bad scene. I find that the actress that plays, or the stunt double that plays for Thea, as well as Thea and Laurel at the time, sometimes the scene suffered from some of their stunts because it just looked very poor.
It looked slowed down.
But since we kind of got them out of the scene and it's just Diggle and Oliver for the most part.
And New Canary is more athletic.
She's way more athletic.
You can get away with a lot more. The camera blocking's on point. The visual effects guys working with the cinematographer. You can tell they're working through these for not just a couple weeks. They're working through these for 3 or 4 weeks at a time.
Well, look at like you said, Bob, the New Canary is more athletic. They gave her an entire scene where she's doing the bow staff by herself.
Yeah.
Like there is no
sweet bow staff skills.
Yeah, she has super sweet bow staff. But like there's no blocking, nothing. It's her doing that stunt, for the lack of a better word. And you're right. I think they've gotten better at putting, on screen the people that need to be on. I mean, hell, even Terrific is now
getting better too.
Yeah, he's throwing T-spheres.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're very competitive on set, which is good.
Yeah.
Like you have Oliver or Stephen Amell, really working out on set. Diggle has gotten bigger as the days go by. I mean, they're a very competitive group of individuals, and not in a bad way. They're competitive like, hey, you're working out, I'm working out. You're doing that, I'm doing that. And I think that's why you have this group, this ensemble cast that's just trying to one-up each other, because even Wild Dog is a fucking beast.
Yeah, he's gotten much
bigger.
All
these guys have gotten so much better.
So now that we're basically let's go ahead and finish up this episode talking about the others in the group. We talked about Felicity and Terrific. I mean, first of all, those two together on screen are awesome. They typically, at least what I'm finding out is every time I see them on screen, I genuinely like the chemistry that they have. They are, the characters are very similar.
But they're quick-witted, and the timing of responses and everything feels natural.
Right.
They complement each other.
Yes, absolutely. And we get to see them. They're going to start a company. They use their skills to clear Oliver's skills.
Damn skills.
But they use the skills to clear Oliver. I mean, they're very important to the team, and I actually think it's cool that they're kind of putting those two together.
And reminding everybody
that they're a very important part of the team.
And that's something they're doing with all of the ensemble cast members. They're finding roles for them to play. That works. Like last year, I think the season suffered from just, they talk about the 9-year-old William causing annoyances. I mean, all of them acted like 9-year-olds for the first half of the season.
Ragman and everybody else.
Yeah, and now this year, they're all finding their positions. They're teaming up Dinah with Diggle. You have Wild Dog with Oliver and Lance. And you have, of course, what's the dude's name?
Felicity and Terrific.
Felicity and Mr. Terrific working together. They're finding their positions, which is important when you have a show
with
dealing
this many
with
characters.
More. Yes.
Yep.
You have to.
Well, I mean, I think too, by putting Felicity and Terrific together, you're establishing that there's going to be help for when we see how the big bad is going to be taken down by the group. I mean, we're kind of leaning towards the fact that it's going to be a techno,
the Helix
group. So, I mean, you got to have Terrific and Felicity. That they're going to be your backbone for taking down Helix, and for them to got another message. For them to establish them together, it makes sense.
Yeah, because if you were to come in and remember, they want to. The first 5 seasons were a chapter.
Right, exactly.
And so this is the second chapter, so you have to remind people who these people are sometimes.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. And I think you're right, Mike. But they put Lance, Captain Lance and Renee together. And honestly, those two complement each other very well. You've got Lance, who's seen some shit and done some shit. And you got Renee, who's kind of the hates authority type person. So they'll put
street smarts.
So you got these two guys together who totally make sense. I mean, hell, the scene where they're sitting in there covering for Oliver, come on, man, that was great.
Yeah, the interplay between the two of them is good. It's really good.
Yeah, and then going at the FBI agent just reminded me of something like you would say, Ryan.
Renee is very much me.
How do you get in the FBI? I got some. Well, I'm a feminist and everything.
Just hey man, sometimes I like to dabble.
Feminize?
Feminize. Is that a word? I feel like that's a word.
Sure. It is now.
It is now.
No, but they've definitely found a place for everybody to where you're they're just not forced into a scene or just standing around in a background.
And it also is nice to see Wild Dog be able to have a mature conversation with Oliver.
Yes,
and to
absolutely.
see Oliver be able to actually accept someone's help as well, who he finally realizes does have something to offer, because
even though Renee's has been as much of a dad as he has.
yeah. But, Renee was kind of suffering with the whole hierarchy thing and dealing with who's in charge. He's one of those guys that likes to take the lead and doesn't really want to listen to orders. However,
he's got a problem with authority.
Yeah, but now that him and Oliver can have a mutual respect for each other, I feel like they can lean on each other for also support in that way. I mean, I can't see Oliver talking to anybody else like that at right now about that specific issue.
Not a chance.
The fact that he has a child makes him the likely person to talk to.
Yep.
And even though Diggle has a child, he has not gone through the ups and downs in terms of parenting like Renee is.
Yep.
Renee has suffered with a child with issues. So I think it works. It was a smart move with the writers, from the writers.
If Ryan had his way, he'd be talking to Lance on how to bury a child.
Oh, yes.
Hey, you killed 2 of them. Well, let's say 3, but who's counting?
I mean, why is
the other one doesn't
Lance?
count? She's alternate reality. We don't count her. Tell me.
I mean, I'd like to counter. I'd like to counter.
How do you go about killing a kid?
How do you go about, just kind of making it look like,
Funerals expensive.
Hey, Constantine, I need your help.
Yeah.
Can you come in and take my son's soul out of his body?
Can you take care of this kid for me? That'd be great. Hey, is Leon, you still available to throw someone into? I feel like No, it's blown up now. That's too bad.
Nisa!
Nissa, I need you to get rid of this twat.
Just open the window of the airplane when you get there.
Yeah, just kick him out and give him a parachute and have him spend 5 years on Leon Yu. Then he's come back.
Shit, that was my lunch, not the parachute.
Then he comes back all hardened and shit.
I'm still stuck on how do you get rid of this twat? I mean, Jesus Christ.
What's wrong with that?
Nisa will probably be like, I'll take that for you.
What?
That's something you got to keep around.
Come on.
Oh, because she's a lesbian.
Exactly.
Got it.
Okay, listen. Don't
Not all lesbians are whores.
Try to take, my 9-year-old joke and try to put it down when your entire show's a 9-year-old joke.
Yeah, well, my entire show's a 9-year-old joke. Yeah, huh?
So stupid.
Fuck you, Mike. Anyways.
So aggressive.
That's how we win arguments.
Yep, that's how I win. All right, so let's go ahead and get... Let's go ahead and jump into final thoughts. Since we got Jesse on, we're going to let Jesse go first. What'd you think about the episode?
Way to put him on the spot.
Yep, absolutely. That's how I do it.
Yeah, no pressure here. Yeah, I thought it was a really good episode. I thought the cinematography was very well on this. A lot of the martial arts scenes I did like. They seemed a little bit better this year than last year as far as like the end of the season.
Yeah.
I did like the Canary. She is a lot more athletic than Laurel was in this, and it does show a lot too because on the last scenes with her and Diggle, she's been given the devil eyes for him to get his crap fixed.
To get his,
as far
get his
as
Diggle in her,
with his peck. It did kind of go back, just kind of show what actually happened because in that explosion, kind of a barrel came and kind of hit him kind of in the back or kind of in the chest too. So it kind of showed what exactly happened in that for that part. And he is showing a lot of emotion, like they said too, as far as like he's always shaky with his hands. He's taken pills for it. He knows the doctor when they went in.
He's a regular Michael J. Fox.
Damn you, diabetes.
Yeah.
Fucking diabetes.
He's like, take 2 of these and call me in the morning, kind of thing.
Black guys don't get Parkinson's. I looked it up.
Oh, it's.
I really did.
Did you seriously look that up?
Yes, they're less likely to get Parkinson's. Whatever.
Wow.
WebMD.
WebMD. So wait. Because WebMD, like if I say, hey, I have like
it's cancer,
cold, I have cancer, right?
Yes.
Okay, just double check.
You have cancer.
Diggle has cancer.
All right. So what else, Bob? or what else, Jesse? In conclusion,
yeah. Anything else?
Yeah. Conclusion. We'll kind of see Diggle is going to have a better, role for the next episode too, and kind of with his injury, is seen on kind of a spoiler a little bit for the next episode that he does have a crossbow now.
Oh.
Instead of actually having
to
pull back
the big
an
guy
arrow,
Chewbacca crossbow.
Like a bow. That with his injury, there's no way he's going to be able to pull that back.
Yeah. Oof.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Maybe he uses Little Diggle to pull back the crossbow. I mean, let's be honest.
The 3-armed arrow got me.
I thought he killed Little Diggle.
No, I'm talking about.
Oh, Little.
Yeah. Wait, I don't know if it's that little.
That's medium Diggle.
His dick's bigger than his brother.
Dude, his dick's so strong, it's stronger than his arm. That's how he can pull the crossbow.
The funny thing is, Diggle's parents still think Little Diggle's alive because he just pulls him out and messes him up. Yeah, Mom, taking care of him. Look.
Why is he always right next to you, son? Don't worry about him, Mom.
Has he been working out? He's very veiny.
He's very vascular, honey.
Jesus.
He must be shredding.
With a little beanie on him.
Oh, God. Hey, I'm Little Diggle. Why is he Mickey Mouse?
Get my spit on you.
Oh my God.
Oh God, what the fuck? All right, anybody
Little
else?
Diggle sneezed.
This show. Oh my God.
All right, who else wants to go? Fuck.
It'll be interesting where I could say I kind of agree with Mike that I could see this almost being the end of Arrow, and I said that last week also, that if they are continuously disconnecting characters from what they are, that, if possibly this was the final season, I could see their way out. Because you think about, Diggle with his injury, and if it's really, nothing they can fix, I could see him walking away, going to be a family man. If Oliver really wants to take the mantle of being a dad and the mayor, walking away from that. So I can definitely see that as an out if they want to use it. Really good episode, though. Again, it's fun to watch what's going on right now. I'm not dreading it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Bob, stay in the mic, Bob.
I have not moved the whole time.
Yeah,
you're looking at Ryan when you talk.
It wasn't him.
It wasn't him that faded out?
Yep, wasn't him. Someone else.
Talk about a backup homie.
Yeah. Hey, well, he's not going to back me up. I'll back him up. No, I agree. I could see them using it as an out, but I don't think they will. And did I mention that they mentioned Bruce Wayne? Again,
that's all he's going to remember.
Yeah. No, I mean, this episode was really good.
This episode had Bruce Wayne.
He doesn't show
Bruce Wayne was wonderful in this episode. Bruce Wayne.
Dick. But no, I did enjoy this episode. I knew it was coming. And I think that the special effects and the shots and the cinematography were much better in the first two episodes. And I'm excited to see where we're going. And you're right, Mike. I think, giving all these different characters a like character to kind of grasp onto is really making the ensemble cast make sense. And it doesn't seem watered down, and it doesn't seem like they don't know their place. And I think that's definitely important with what we're doing. So I am excited, man. I think this season's in the right direction. Mike?
A few things. Number one, I'd have to say that I like what they're doing with Oliver this year. I feel personally that them teaming up with his son is a very different dynamic than we've seen ever on the show. Getting away from Felicity is a good thing. I like to see that the Felicity is a capable character on her own. She doesn't need to be swinging from Oliver's dig like she's been doing since the first season. I like that their relationship's on the back burner. It's still there. The fans are given that little nugget in the season premiere that there is possibilities, which is fine. Let's go to it towards the end of the show.
Oliver needs a booty call, man.
Yeah, see, that's okay. And that's more of an adult relationship. When you're juggling a family and a business and being a mayor and being a vigilante, in reality, you don't have time to really, truly pursue a relationship. So to have someone you love in the back burner and they love you and that you guys will someday get together, I like that. That's more realistic. And for them to focus for a while on William is great. I love the passing of the mantle or the potential or the foreshadowing of passing the mantle to Diggle. And what that means, obviously the audience is in the know and Oliver is not. And we already know that's going to end up ending very poorly for everybody. However, I like the idea. I love the way to remind the audience how close Oliver and Diggle are, and the fact that Diggle knows. First off, Diggle and Oliver are two of the most stubborn individuals on this show. And for Diggle to accept that he has an issue to Dinah is a big thing. And now you have Oliver presenting Diggle with a way out for his brother, for someone who he specifically said, "You are my brother in green," 2 years ago. Yep. My real brother wears green. Is that what he said?
Something like that. Yeah.
I mean, how do you say no? Even if you're dying, how do you put down your brother in that way to where he finally feels good? You see a smile on his face. He has a semblance of life to himself for the first time in how many years?
Right.
And this episode had the emotion aspect going on very high, and the stakes were risen this episode as well very early on. I think the only problem I have is the kind of the holes in in terms of questions. Like, why, number one, why is the FBI an issue? It doesn't make sense. He's on basically the payroll of Argus for the past 4 years. I don't know the hierarchy. Maybe you guys can do that for me. The comic book.
I don't know if they know Argus exists.
But the point is that they're a government agency.
Oh, yes.
They're a government agency, and you're trying to tell me the FBI is really going to... Yes, they may think they have a case on Oliver, but all Argus needs to do is say, hey, pull some strings in the White House, and guess what? There is no issue. So for them to create this drama with the FBI, I feel is a bit silly, and it wasn't well thought out. Number two, the issue of... there was another one. I don't know it now. But you know what? I'll leave it at that. That's my biggest problem, is I feel like there's a massive hole in their way of thinking when it comes to the FBI and presenting a problem. That's not an issue. It's just not. When the audience has been presented to Argus... It's a
nuisance.
Yeah, it's a nuisance that can easily go away with a phone call to Diggle's wife.
Yep.
Yeah, it's no different than like the reporter last year.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a nuisance.
It's a non-issue.
At most.
It's a non-issue, and I find it's kind of silly
I
that
think
the writers are trying to use that to buy time.
It's a filler buy time thing. Is all it is. All right, guys. With that's going to do it for today's DC on CW. Jesse, thank you for joining us on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
And remember, guys, you can always catch us at any past and future DC on CW episodes through the Rain Man digital app. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at DC on CW, Facebook.com/DC on CW, and Instagram DC_on_CW. With that, guys, we'll see you next week.
Not in the mood for chit-chat. Gotcha. Ready when you are.